Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Walled Lake Central High School. Alongside Brian McPhee, I'm Dan Pelchat, Matt Boyer on camera. We got Paul Zarati joining us here a little bit closer to game time. We got a little Thursday night special action here for you tonight as the South Lyon Lions 1-4 on the road taking on the 3-2 Walled Lake Central Vikings. Only the third time these two schools have met.
Yeah, so we don't know much about them. We can look at their record and see how they've done against other teams, but it'll just have to get out there and see what happens when you start hitting helmets.
Around,
right, exactly. Yeah, they've done a good job this year with some of the teams they've played. They lost to Mott, who's been really tough. Beat Walled Lake Western. So there isn't anybody undefeated anymore in the league, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Everyone's still got a chance. Then they lost last week to Warren Consolidated Collegiate. And so they're looking to come back and get a win. They're also only 3 wins away from the playoffs, from guaranteeing. And we, believe it or not, have an outside chance with a 4-win streak here. We could get in the playoffs. So looking for a good game tonight.
I think so. I think we're going to see some physicality tonight. Funny enough, 9 years ago when I did my first game with old Mayor Ted Wallace, the first game we did with me and him was Walled Lake Central versus South Lyon at Eastern Michigan University, and the Lions went on to take care of business, and then the following year Central kind of took care of us. So the series is split 1-1. We're in the same conference now, so we're going to see the Vikings annually. Stadium's got a little bit of character to it. Not one of these cookie cutter stadiums you see anymore. It's probably been renovated a little bit. It has some old school bleachers. We should be in for some old school football here tonight, I feel like. I think the most impressive win that the Vikings have, though, is against that Lakeland team. We saw, how physical and downhill running that they were able to do. That's a pretty impressive win, Brian.
Yeah, so that just tells you they're a real team out here. You got to come out, be ready to play, strap that helmet on tight, and get ready.
Yeah. Fundamentally sound. Let's take care of the football and no stupid penalties and see what happens. So we'll be back here. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff, and we'll be back with the start of week number 6. Lions will be receiving to start this one. They go onside kick. I don't think that went 10 yards before the Vikings touched it. There is a flag down on the far side.
Actually, I think we touched it first.
Well, that would be a problem.
Yep. I think he came over the line, touched it.
And it looks like we did get it. Haddock was on top of it.
Seems like we've been seeing a lot of teams try that this year.
We have. I don't know if they've seen something that we're missing or just something they want to try and catch us off guard.
It worked last week with Milford, right? They came out and we got the ball right back, fortunately.
Right.
Well, and we're going to take the penalty and move them back to kick it off again. Noah Elliott kicking. Right up here.
The camera guy wants it. All right, we're going to try this again. Let's see if they go with it again. I can't imagine they will. Nope. Deep to return, number 5, Ian Goings. Has it across the 30 to about the 35 before he's met with some resistance.
Ball is taken out to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10.
Not bad field position to start off.
Tackle made by number 52, Gavin Jasko.
Lions will start 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line alongside Paul Zarati, Brian McPhee. I'm Dan Pelchat. We got Matt Boyer on camera. Bringing you this week 6 action out at Walled Lake Central High School.
Goings in the backfield.
Goings will be in the backfield for Cassie at quarterback. Ryan Gill also back there at number 4. Little play action dump intended for Gill. Broken up nicely by 57. Connor Merchant. He was right where he needed to be on that.
Yeah, nice defensive play there. Connor would have got that up above. He had an open man with a little bit of room in front of him.
Well, Walled Lake's fired up. They got a special night here with the pink out. They got the military representative uniforms. That kind of gets you charged up on your home field.
No, the pregame kind of activities was very nice here. The band had it going, rocking. We'll see if the Lions can come out and put something together here to answer. Fracassi going to give it to Goings. Goings, not a whole lot there, maybe a couple. Looking at third down and we'll call it 8.
Number 43, Tanner Bryant on the tackle. Third down and 8.
Well, as we cited last game, the real advantage that we had was up on the offensive line, guys taking some leadership and making some big holes. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to do that tonight. We've got a big Walled Lake Central team out there.
I agree with you, Paul. I think they might be in for a challenge here tonight for sure. Third down and 8. Fracassi rolls to the near side, fires, had a man incomplete. That was number 2, Michael Dancer. Lions will go 3 and out on their first possession.
That was a nice pass. Good job by Connor. He saw trouble coming. He knew he was going to get hit, and he hung in there to the last minute to where Dancer could get open, but unfortunately dropped the ball.
Looked like he would have had to make a quick stop and turn up fields to still get to the sticks anyways, and that, who's to say that might not have even been in the back of his head there, because Dancer's usually pretty solid on the hands.
He is. And we got our punt here with
Will's going to go with it.
Will's going to take off and run.
And Will Kelly, and he's going to be awfully close. Let's see where they spot this.
Number 24, Will Kelly, the ball carrier.
Oh, a great spot. And the Lions are going to have a first down. You know what? We talked about that wrinkle they put in a couple weeks ago with the second guy back there. They didn't use it last week. They go to it here tonight.
Yeah, really well done. I mean, I think that's a read by Will. I think they run out to the outside, and Will just decides, hey, if I got one guy to beat, I'm going to go for it, and that's exactly what happened here, and he got the first down. That was awesome.
That's a great point, Paul. You're right. I mean, he made the right decision there. We've also seen punters that have that option make a bad decision, but he had a blocker, and he only had a couple guys to beat. Will Kelly, you know, he's the type of guy that doesn't normally go down with one tackle. And Ian Goings goes airborne after a gain of tough angle here. We'll call it 7. Might have been 8 or 9.
By number 33, Kendall Porter.
Well, that's that hole up the middle we're talking about. You know, we got the speed in the backfield. If we can just open something up, they're going to hit that hole. They'll get through, and they'll get 5 to 9 on that.
That's right.
Goings took Michael Gansler for a ride there, you know. Talk about following your blocker.
Lions will come out, twins to the far side. Fracassi has Goings, the deep back behind him, and now Gill in motion. Goings going to be met immediately. Looks like number 3 and number 58. Ken Spat.
Kendall Porter on the tackle. Bring about third down and 2.
Well, Dan, we don't have any weights on our roster here, but that Mr. Spratt, he's a good-sized kid, and he's only a junior.
Yeah, we'll put it politely, Mr. Spat's not missing many meals down there.
We actually got one here. He goes about 290.
Yeah, he carries it well. Nice little shake and bake by Goings, able to get across the 35. First and 10, South Lyon.
I tell you, last week we saw the offensive line gain some confidence and blow some holes open. They are one of our players of the week, the whole line, and it looks like they're gaining some confidence early here.
Really couldn't draw up a better night for some football. Not a cloud in the sky, sun setting here now at Walled Lake Central High School, and the Lions, after converting on a fake punt, got a little something going here on the opening drive. Fracassi out of the pistol. Ian Goings behind him. Dancer in motion. Quick little screen pass to Dancer. He has a solid gain there on the near sideline.
Well, based on these opening plays that we're seeing, either Ian did something really good during the week, or there's a little bit of a game plan to use speed this week, right? Looks like Ian's a workhorse, and they're trying to get the ball to Michael quite a bit, and that's where all our speed is.
Yeah, that's a great point, Paul. Maybe they saw something in the film where we can isolate that speed and maybe create some big plays. Twins to the far side. Give us to Goings, and the ball is stripped. And number 72, who I don't have on this roster, Ethan Tolbert.
Rapadavich.
And an unfortunate end to that opening drive for South Lyon. They were moving the ball pretty well.
31-yard line.
It looked like one of the South or Walled Lake players got their helmet on that and just popped it right up in the air.
Yeah, there ain't a darn thing you can do about that when you get a helmet on the ball. So we got 8:10 remaining in this first quarter. It'll be Walled Lake Central's first offensive possession. Looks like we got number five at quarterback, Michael Woolridge, senior.
6'4",
And then we got 43 in the backfield, Tanner Bryan. Woolridge going to keep it. Oh, and a nice tackle. Oh, they're going to call him down. That was pretty close.
Michael Woolridge. Tackle made by number 28, Jack Schaefer.
Well, the defense is going to get tested right off. That quarterback's a nice-sized kid, and looks like they're going to use him running the ball a fair amount or doing that read, run, react.
Gain of 8 on that first play. Just inside their own 40-yard line. Looks like a little bit of a wing T look there.
I was going to ask you if that formation looked a little familiar to you.
Oh, glory days.
Woolridge Barker. First down, Walled Lake Central.
Able to punch his way really close to the 45-yard line. Play results in a first down for the Vikings.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line. Number 43, the ball carrier, is Tanner Bryan.
Bryan on the carry. Looked like we had several Lions in there on that one.
Yeah, a little inside handoff. Dancer did a good job coming up from the safety position and helping there. I think that's what we're going to need tonight. Looks like it's going to be a very physical game in the middle, at least with Walled Lake Central on offense. We're going to need all the troops in there we can get to bring them down.
I kind of had a similar feeling before this game even started, Paul. I've done a couple games with Walled Lake Central. That's kind of their forte. They're gonna try and line up and run the football on you. Used to be a really option heavy team.
Nice job there by the defensive line. I mean, in a game like this, right, you want your defensive linemen to occupy those offensive linemen and free up your linebackers to come up and fill the holes and make the tackle, right? And we did a good job on that.
Yep, keeping them at third and medium, third and long here.
And that Michael Woolridge goes 6'4".
Yeah. And I mean, just based on the small sample size we've seen, that first run, it looks like he's got a little acceleration.
Yeah, you got to keep everyone hemmed in there. They get to the second level, and it's not a good thing.
Nope, you're right.
Like that.
There's a great call. Number 7, Cam Humphrey.
Number 7, Cam Humphrey.
Spoke too soon there.
Almost Miss Cleo-esque there, Brian, with the psychic reading.
Ball on the 31-yard line.
Vikings will have it first and 10 at the Lion 31. And it looks like they got some options coming out of the backfield, too.
Yeah.
Jet sweep. Nice tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, Michael Dancer, the first one there. And that's a textbook tackle. Head across the body. I mean, still a solid gain for a first down run, but
I know Coach has been getting after him about wrapping kids up. Those little guys sometimes like to take them out in pro style, but right there was, I'm sure the coach loved that tackle.
yeah, it's tough when you're giving up some size and you're coming in low. Sometimes you just hope to upend them. Little shift here from the Viking offense. They're looking at 2nd down and 7. 4:18 and counting to play in this first quarter. We are scoreless. Humphrey on the outside. He's got some room inside the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Vikings.
Number 7, Cam Humphrey.
That's that outside contain has been a problem a lot of our games. We didn't see it as a problem last week, but the other teams we had just have to get that shutdown out there.
Well, and we kind of saw a little bit, I mean, not a size differential, but that, like you said, Brian, that's something we've kind of struggled with all year. We didn't have a great look at it. We aren't as high as we normally are on our filming point tonight over in the visitor, the South Lyon side of things, but you got to assume there was a seal block there and it was home run time.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Brian. That previous play where Dancer came up and made the play, the outside guys contained, forced him up the middle, allows the safety to come up and make the play. That time we didn't contain, and you saw what happened.
So with 4:06 left to play in the first quarter, the extra point is no good. We'll step out for a break and be back in a moment. Ian Goings, and he's wisely just going to fall on it at the 31-yard line. Not a bad decision there. I mean, if you try and hurry up and scoop that could have been a disaster.
1st and 10, ball at the 31-yard line.
Well, that's experience learning to fall on it. We've had some of that early in the year that, those things, you appreciate the effort, but it just turns into disaster.
4:01 left to play here, first quarter. Lions trail the Walled Lake Central Vikings 6-0. Cam Humphrey on the touchdown run, last possession for the Vikings. This is the Lions' second possession. Screen pass and complete to Gill, but snuffed out pretty well there by number 5, Michael Woolridge. Quarterback going both ways.
He showed some speed that you talked about that you thought he might have being 6'4", 190. He certainly did.
That was a really nice catch by Ryan. He's flaring out there, and that was a little bit behind him, but he hung with it, made sure he secured the ball before he took off.
He made it look easy. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is this going to be a lateral if that's on the ground? And he reeled it in. Fracassi. Give to Jack Schaefer, 28. He has a nice little gasher there.
He almost always has positive yardage. He's a downhill runner, gets a nice lean to him, and tough to bring down.
3rd down and manageable for South Lyon as we approach the 3-minute mark of this first quarter. Lions trailing 6-0. In this Week 6 matchup, a little Thursday night special action for you. Fracassi going to be close, second effort, got it. Might have even been third effort, honestly.
Well, and if that lineman didn't have a hold of his jersey, he would have got about 10 more yards.
The old Campbell tearaways, right?
Yeah, that's what you teach him in Panthers, right? Keep those feet chopping and get extra yards. That's exactly what he did, and first down was the result. I see we got Ronnie Menard on the sidelines tonight. That kind of hurts, takes away one of our offensive weapons, and Robbie Collage also, which hurts on the defensive line.
That's a great point, Paul. First down and 10 for the Lions. Their own 42-yard line, under 2.5 to go now here in the first quarter. Fracassi fires it out to Dancer, one-on-one, and a great open field tackle. That's Woolridge again. I mean, that's a great matchup normally.
Right. Well, Woolridge at the safety position just read that and came up and did the job he's supposed to, unfortunately for us.
Right. Nice open field tackle. Still a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 with 1:55 and counting left in this first quarter. Lions going to go trips to the far side. Haddock, the wide out to the near side. Ooh. Met immediately in the backfield by number 58. That's Ken Spratt again.
Ken Spratt. It's going to bring about 3rd down and 7.
We could hear that smack from up here.
Yep. 3rd down. Lions need to get to the Viking 48 for a first. All of 7 yards.
If you get Locke over on the cornerback on this side, you're going to have a height advantage.
They got Will Kelly over here to the near side right now. Gill in motion for Kasi. Play action pass. Finds Gill out of the backfield. He's got a convoy. And a first down, Lions near the 40-yard line.
Number 4 on the play. Ryan Gill was good for a first down.
Boy, it was a nice way to get a first down, but our guys, when we set up that screen, those lead blockers, they got to find somebody and hit them instead of just watching the runner. That could have been a huge play.
I'll tell you what, I credit Gill for being able to make that catch and kind of navigate his way through there. There was a little bit of a traffic jam on the near side.
He took an initial hit after he caught it and still kept on his feet and kept driving. And Connor Merchant, that linebacker, he looks like he's got a little bit of an attitude. Good player.
Yeah. 1st and 10 Lions now into Viking territory. Fracassi fires. Will Kelly across the 30 inside to the 20.
Will Kelly.
Going to get spotted down there about the 27, 26-yard line.
1st and 10 South Lyon ball.
Well thrown ball. Only Will was going to catch it, and if it was over his head, it was going to be incomplete. I like the call too. I like Greeno coming out a little aggressive on first down there.
I thought Fracassi did a great job waiting for Kelly to clear everybody, too.
You're right. He did have to get past the outside linebacker there, and there was that slot, and he hit him.
Give us to Schaefer. He's going to fight his way down to right about the 25. Not much more.
And that's the quarter.
2nd down and 8.
At the end of the first quarter, your score, the Walled Lake Central Vikings 6, your South Lyon Lions 0. We'll be back with the second quarter action here in a moment. He's getting us in trouble. Handoff up the middle to Schaefer. He's got a lane. 10, 5, touchdown Lions.
Will Kelly.
Touchdown.
Wow.
Number 28, Jack Schaefer.
Oh, this Jack.
Schaefer showing a little bit of speed there.
Oh, yeah, he sure did. I don't know, quite see why it was such a quick play. We're sitting here waiting for the quarter to start. Next thing you know, the hole opens up and Jack's in the end zone.
You know, I think your eyes open up a little bit when you see that much turf in front of you. Old Jack Schaefer hit a second gear.
And he never looked behind. He just kept till he got to that blue end zone.
That's right. Great drive for the Lion offense there. 11:53 to play second quarter, just 7 seconds in. And the Lions find pay dirt. Oh, flag down. Locke goes ahead and gets a practice round in.
Well, Walled Lake West are not happy that they let a 20-yard run go there. Getting a little anxious to try and block that extra point.
Lions going to go for 2 here.
Extra point is.
I agree. I think they move you half the distance. And I think you feel pretty confident about that type of a play call.
Well, I think your line is developing a little more confidence down there, you know. Look out for the 290 guy out there. And sometimes you run right at those guys as a good strategy.
Yes. Kelly to the far side. We got Locke and Dancer to the near side. Fracassi out of the pistol. Schaefer the deep back. They fake the Schaefer, incomplete. Oh, I don't even want to tell you what that play reminded me of.
I know what it reminded
Yeah, do you? The way our season ended last year, unfortunately. Yep. So
I never hate to second guess coaches in that, but if you got a point on the board, I hate taking them off. At this point in the game, 2 points doesn't make a difference.
Yep. Nope. I think there's an argument for that. 11:53 to play, second quarter. We'll be back with the kickoff. Brendan Locke on the kickoff for the Lions. Nice boot here towards the near sideline, fielded by number 22.
That's Jake Perry, and we got a penalty in there.
Late flag. Looked like number 7 in there for the Lions, Mitch Kamoris.
First and 10 to the 29-yard line.
Penalty is against the Lions.
Number 4, Ryan Dillon, the stop for South Lyon.
Henson down there trying to plead his case for the Lions. He's not going to get it.
I like the strategy, though. Make your case, maybe get a call later.
Yep.
11:46 to play, second quarter. We're knotted up at 6. And we got an immediate stoppage. Timeout Central. That's their first. We'll take a break as well. So after the kickoff, the Vikings immediately call a timeout, and they're going to go with a designed run for the quarterback, number 5, Michael Woolridge. Nothing doing there.
Well, it was nice to see the Lions respond after giving up that touchdown. Now let's see if we can toughen up on defense a little bit.
Second down and 11.
Second and 11 now for the Vikings.
Dancer's looking a little bit hobbled coming off the field.
He got caught up in that scrum and got kicked in the shin, the ankle, or hopefully just a little ice pack, and he'll be back out there.
Oh, he kept it. He sold the fake real well. And Woolridge looked like he had run into some resistance about 5 or 6 yards past the line of scrimmage, but second effort gets him awfully close to a first.
And he bounced it out himself to the outside, and again, we just didn't have the contain there we needed.
I got to give him credit, too. I mean, he sold the handoff well, but when you're a taller quarterback like that, you can be a little bit more of, you sell that at 5'10", it's different than being 6'5". He did a good job of, crouching down and then scooting to the outside. 3rd down and 1 here for the Vikings. They'll have a first down across the 45.
43, the ball carrier, Tanner Bryant. Run was good for a first down. Garrett Hurt on the stop. First and 10, balls on the 46-yard line.
Vikings aren't afraid to mix it up out there. You got a little shotgun, you got a little under center. You got to be on your toes out there on defense, making some calls when you see them come out, what formation they're in.
And being a young team, we got to really watch that stuff, make sure they're playing their positions and doing their job right.
Lots of lead blockers there.
Humphrey, the ball carrier.
Humphrey able to pick up 7 or 8.
Tackled by number 40, Brent Bender.
Bender had himself a heck of a game last week, our tough guy, and really, obviously, the whole team effort had a great game last week, winning 42-7 against the Milford Mavericks. Second and 3 for the Vikings, just across midfield. Approaching 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter. We're tied at 6. Give is to Humphrey. He'll have a first down across the 45.
Boy, that was a nice one-handed tackle by Jack Schaefer hanging on there to bring him down. I'm impressed with this senior quarterback, Woodbridge. He did a good job before that play, making sure everybody was in the right position, knowing what was going on before he got under center to execute the play properly. We need a turnover, Dan. Lions need a turnover right here.
I like it. We've already got Brian on the clock for Miss Cleo today. We'll have to see if we can go 2 for 2. We're going to get a stoppage here on the field. Timeout South Lyon. That's their first. We'll step out as well. 1st and 10 for the Vikings after the South Lyon timeout. 8:41 to play second quarter. Another off tackle run, and I'll tell you what, looked like we had him for little to no gain, but able to grind his way down to about the 36-yard line.
And that was just tough football right there. I was watching the linemen and seeing if they were getting in their gaps. They were, and that kid just, his legs never stopped.
Low leverage, too. I mean, low man wins, and he was just grinding it out. Call it 2nd and 4. Looks like a run-pass option for Woolridge there, and tough to tell from this angle that we're on. I think he's a little short.
We had good coverage downfield on that, and I don't know if he even intended to pass the way he was running, you know.
Looked like a half-hearted fake there, and then he decided to tuck it right away.
I saw the tight end hit the flag route, and I think you're right. I think he just knew immediately that he was going to tuck it and try and get the first down. Approaching the 7-minute mark here. Central on their second possession. We're tied at 6 here in the second quarter at Walled Lake Central High School, week number 6 of the Michigan High School Athletic Association football season. Quarterback.
First down, Walled Lake Central.
Woolridge just keeps it and follows the line.
Woolridge, the ball carrier.
Going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line.
Number 60.
That's a tough job for the nose guard when you got that big of a quarterback in the center and everyone plowing up the middle like that.
Well, that momentum's got you going back already.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine we got the big guys doing backpedaling drills all that often.
Oh.
Quick congratulations to our freshman and JV teams, both victorious yesterday. JV playing Southgate Anderson, and our freshmen defeated, of course, Walled Lake Central. Give up the middle. 43, that is Tanner Bryan.
43, Tanner Bryan, the ball carrier. Gill on the stop to bring up a second down at 7.
And what that play does there, Brian, and Paul, that keeps you honest. You know, you got to respect that initial fake handoff.
Yep. Well, and the answer to it, if you can get to it, is hit everybody.
Right. Well, and heck, you know what I mean? I mean, you're going to take 4 yards of carry anyways. Here's Woolridge on the outside.
And if they're going to run that fake, you just tackle the quarterback every play. It's a free hit. You got to hit them legally, but they're making the fake. That's the way they do it. Easier said than done, though.
No, it is, but you're right. I've seen that as a strategy in the past.
He is a shifty runner. Man, he is back and forth.
They're going to get a timeout, South Lyon. That's their second. 5:51 remaining in this second quarter. We're tied at 6. Ooh, takes a shot.
Woolridge, the ball carrier.
That's the quarterback, Woolridge again.
Tackle by Gill.
Defense cannot give up on these plays, and Michael Dancer did a good job there not giving up because these guys are hard to bring down. It's Rock'em Sock'em football, but this time coming out of Walled Lake Central, and it's all helmets to the play to bring them down.
11 hats to the ball, going to the whistle. You're right. We've seen a couple, not that we've given up on the play or anything, but just the extra effort from the tail, or whoever the ball carrier is for the Vikings. That's Humphrey. He had the touchdown run earlier for the Vikings.
Humphrey, the ball
We almost had him in the backfield there, and linebacker tried diving for him, and he shifted out of the way and left him open.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 3.
3rd down, 3 to go for the Vikings. 4:44 and counting. Second quarter. Give to the tailback, gonna bounce it out. That's Humphrey again. Will Kelly able to get there? Nearly got the ball out, did he? Yeah, no whistle. There's a scrum inside the 5. And it looks like the Vikings may have gotten it back.
First down, Walled Lake Central.
Humphrey will have to go off for a play as his helmet came off.
First and goal, ball on the 3-yard line.
Great effort by Will Kelly. Tackle strip, but play results in a first down and goal for the Vikings just inside the Lion 5.
Tanner Bryan, the ball carrier.
Just running up the middle there.
Yep. When we got 3 yards to go, they're averaging more than a yard a carry, so why would you do anything different?
Nope. Second down and goal. Ball on the 2-yard line.
Second and goal. Goes to 43, or did the quarterback keep it?
I think Woolridge kept it.
Touchdown, Walled Lake Central.
Number 5, Michael Woolridge in for the touchdown.
Number 5, Michael Woolridge, the ball carrier.
That'll put the Vikings up 12-6 with the PAT to follow. 3:07 remaining in this second quarter. An impressive drive by Walled Lake Central.
I just noticed we got Jake Newman down on the sideline with an ice pack on his nose.
It's the old bridge of the helmet coming down on you probably.
Brother Joe broke his a couple of times.
Right.
Maybe it runs in the family.
Yeah. Vikings going to line up and go for 2 here. And we got a whistle and a flag. Oh, and a false start. Let's see if this changes their...
Yeah, it looked like there was moving early on Walled Lake.
Still going to go for 2 here from about 7 yards out. It's 43. Nope. Woolridge keeps it. And he's in.
2-point conversion. Good. Number 5, Michael Woolridge.
3:07 left to play second quarter. Vikings take an 8-point lead, 14-6. to kick off for the Vikings. Little poocher. Oh, Will Kelly lost the handle on it. And based on that reaction, it looks like the Vikings got it, and there's the signal. I'll tell you what, Will Kelly makes that play 90 out of 100 and 99 out of 100 times. He made the smart play. He looked to see if it was going to go out of bounds. It took a bad hop on him. Yep, and
10 for the Vikings. Ball's on the 30-yard line.
tough break for the Lions defense, who we're still a skeleton crew over here. We don't have a stats guy, but we know that last drive had these boys out there for a long time, and they're right back on the field.
Well, the offense was all excited, warming up, getting ready to go out there, and then they took something out of our playbook from a few years ago. We used to do that pooch kick where nobody was.
Right. And I'll tell you what,
Down there.
Central gifts the Lions a timeout here to give the defense a blow. 3:03 to play second quarter. Lions trail 14-6. We'll take a break. Vikings going to start at the Lion 30 after recovering the fumble on the kickoff. Woolridge. And that's just a very athletic play. You got to respect the fake handoff, and he's just able to turn the corner.
I think that gets to your point, Dan. That's a tired defense out there right now.
You know, these kids probably haven't seen a quarterback like that or a running back. They don't have someone like that to practice against. So Ian Goins tried to make the tackle there, but you got to break down in front of that kid and make him stop and move. You can't bring down a guy with an arm tackle like that.
No. First and goal from the 8 for the Vikings, looking to take advantage. Give to 43. Tanner Bryan.
Tanner Bryan, the ball carrier.
There's Michael Gassner in there on that tackle.
Michael Gassner.
Nice effort. And then it looked like Comoris might have been in there too, number 7.
Goal to goal for the 8-yard line.
Oh, what a sell on that. He sold that fake to Tanner Bryan.
And we all bid on it.
I did too. Woolridge just dances into the end zone there. I mean,
Dan, I had the binoculars on him and he tricked me. I was following number 43 up the middle.
And the thing is, it's been a while since we've seen this offense. This year we've seen it a couple times, I suppose. But when the tailback or the fullback sells the handoff like that, he's bent over low, you can hide it. Woolridge does a great job of hiding it as well. And all of a sudden, he's just strutting into the end zone.
Well, and the Lions are going to have to find a way to stop this kid and not let him beat him. Yeah. They got to key on him. You got to play your position. The DN should have been coming up the field. You come up and then pursue down the line. You don't go down the line and bite on that fake like that.
Extra point is up and good. 1:58 to play second quarter. Vikings now lead it 21-6. Goings to field the kick at about the 24. Gets it to the 35, and the Lions will have one timeout in a minute 54 to see if they can get this back to a one-possession ball game.
Number 23, George Gray on the stop for Walled Lake Central. First and 10 for South Lyon. Ball's on the 35-yard line.
Fracassi and the Lions come out in the gun. Give is to Gill. Just nowhere to turn it up, and he is going to be gang tackled at the 35. Little to no gain on that one.
Gill, the ball carrier. Tackled by Woolridge and number 13, Brandon Jastrow.
Yeah, and the safety Woolridge came up and made that play. He held off the blocker, stretched it out, and made the tackle. Did everything.
Minute 20 and counting to play, second quarter. Second down, 10. Incomplete. Fracassi intended for Goings. Brings up 3rd and 10 for South Lyon from just inside their own 35-yard line. Trips to the far side. Fracassi has Schaefer in the backfield. Has Gill on the wide side.
Pass complete on the play.
Going to be about a couple of yards shy, it looks like, on the far side.
Taken out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
Just under a minute to go, 56 seconds. The clock will stop.
Mr. Woolridge with the tackle again. He just goes sideline to sideline.
Lions going to opt to go for it here. Fracassi under pressure. Able to get back to about the line of scrimmage, and that is it. 50 seconds left in this second quarter. Sorry, Brian.
No, I was going to say the pocket collapsed, and Connor's been doing a good job of seeing that early and getting out, but tonight they just collapsed around him.
Turnover on downs. It'll be 1st and 10 Vikings inside Lion territory. Marked at the 43. I have the Vikings having one timeout left. Be interesting to see what they do here.
I think they're going to probably give it to Mr. Woolridge.
Well, we've yet to see them complete a pass. They ran a pass play, but there was no attempts. There's been no pass attempts yet. That's Humphrey. He's going to have a first down. That'll stop the clock momentarily.
Number 7, Cam Humphrey, the ball carrier.
And they got a play called.
Mitch Camoros.
Camoros in on the stop for South Lyon.
30-yard line.
Wind the clock now. We're about 40 seconds left in this second quarter. First pass attempt.
Right. Now, I always thought his spike was right to the ground. It looked like he threw it at one of our players.
I've never seen anything like that where you throw it at the defensive player off his chest.
Yeah, I haven't either. This makes it second down and 10. 37 seconds left in this second quarter. Vikings at the Lion 32-yard line. Looks like the officials are talking it over. What?
Well, it could be intentional grounding.
Yeah. Yep, it is.
Unsportsmanlike.
Call is intentional grounding against Waldeck Central.
So that'll be. Yep.
Is that supposed to be loss of down also?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is. So it's second down.
Second down.
Lions able to get home and get Woolridge back behind the line, and they'll burn their final timeout with 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
Josh Ripoff.
So there you go, Dan. You had Glassner on the outside, at least force him back up the middle, and now your linebacker's got a chance to make that play. You got to hold that edge. You can't let him outside.
Be interesting to see if the Lions make any adjustments here at the half to kind of do that.
And I actually might have got a little ticked off there if Mr. Woolridge truly did throw it intentionally at one of our players.
Right. Third down, 18 to go for the Vikings. They're out of timeouts. Just 30 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Screen pass. 22 will step out of bounds.
Number 22 for Walled Lake Central, Jake Perry.
Jake Perry steps out of bounds after the quick pass. That'll stop the clock with 22 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, 4th and 9. They got back over the original line of scrimmage.
Twins to the near side. Let's see if they really all they can do is throw it up. Woolridge pass incomplete. 16 seconds left. They'll turn it over on down. South Lyon. All likelihood will just kneel on it and take it to the half. We'll see though.
Well, you could get about 3 plays off if pass plays, but we'll see what they do. We had a nice end of the half at the Walled Lake North game.
That is true.
Mr. Locked on the sideline, and
you're right, Brian. We might see that play right here.
well, and he needs to keep running.
Yeah, he's got Gill. He's across midfield. Now the clock will stop.
Pass completed and played to number 4, Ryan Gill.
Okay, so that is the Lions' final timeout.
43-yard line.
They've got 6 seconds left.
By number 9, Colton Plotz.
Lions' final timeout. They'll have 6 seconds to draw up some magic.
Timeout South Lyon.
Here we go. Could be the last play of the half, depending. 6 seconds here. Fracassi, back to pass. Under pressure, steps up, fires. Incomplete. Oh, the clock guy.
That's a hometown clock.
Yes,
guy.
it was. That's the end of the first half, it looks like. Let's see what
The
happens.
refs are supposed to keep the time on the field.
Yeah.
So if they did their job, they'll put second or 2 back on the clock.
That's the end of the half. Your score, the Walled Lake Central Vikings 21, South Lyon Lions 6. We'll be back with the second half after this. Starting the second half, Brendan Locke fires it down the field. Number 5, Michael Woolridge on the return.
Number 5,
These are Lions one here for you, buddy. I didn't know.
That's number 7 with the tackle.
Okay, number 7. That's our good.
Mitch Kamara.
Yes, Kamorison on the stop. Well, big possession here for South Lyon's defense. 2-possession ball game. The thing about the Vikings is on their possessions, not only have they been scoring, but they've just been on methodical drives.
Yes, and they have about 3 running backs to give it to.
Right.
With Humphreys, Woolridge keeping it or faking and keeping. We got to get an answer to that.
Yep. Be interesting to see if we see any changes defensively. Met immediately there by the Lions front 7.
Tanner Bryan, the ball carrier.
Well, I noticed one change already, Dan.
Second down and 11.
Will Kelly's not in his cornerback position anymore. He's playing more of an outside linebacker. So you know what they're looking to do here is beef up the ends of the line a little bit, let them come up, force that play up the middle. Got Will, he's a big kid.
Aggressive too, so I like it. Let's see how it goes here. Second down and 11, we'll call it. Out to the screen. That's Camoris there. And a gang of his friends able to get over there. Little to no gain. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a little more.
Yeah, and the defense has realigned a little bit with, it looks like Will Kelly's playing that safety position. Jake Newman is out of the game with possibly busted nose. He's had a nice pack, and people looking at that the first half, so I don't think he's going to be playing again today.
I've been fortunate enough to never have that, but I can imagine it's just unpleasant not being able to breathe. Here's Woolridge, ball's on the ground. Now the Vikings are going to get it back, but they're going to be in a 4th and long, and certainly a punting situation pinned down this deep in their own end.
And I love the play on the outside ends. They came back and answered that. They made some great adjustments like Paul talked about, and got the penetration and contained.
Big 3 and out for South Lyon. Will Kelly will drop back to return the punt. It looks like Woolridge will drop back deep to punt it for the Vikings. Jack of all trades here.
Anything he does not do.
Just under 10 to go in this third quarter. Vikings. Oh, it's a high poison. Oh, it takes a Viking roll. Dies at the Lion 41. 9:39 to play, third quarter. Lions trail 21-6. Their first possession of the third quarter coming up. First and 10 Lions. Give us to Kelly. He had some room there on the right side. A great tackle, Joey Brincat. Man.
Third down.
I think Kelly was as surprised as we were with a shoestring tackle there.
9:17 and counting this third quarter. Give to Goings on the jet sweep. He's got some room along the sideline. Across the 35, 30, 25, 20. He's gone. Touchdown Lions. A 60-yard strike from number 5, Ian Goings.
Great run by Ian. Untouched until he got way deep into their zone. Zach King came along, made a key block right there at the end. A little bit borderline. I was looking for a flag, but I think it was legit.
I was looking for one too, and I did not see it. And Ian did a great job of setting up the blockers down there and being patient.
Yep. Just what the doctor ordered for this Lion offense as they line up for the extra point.
Well, Ian's mom was just up here talking to us at halftime, wanted us to light a fire underneath him. Well, I think that worked.
Certainly did. Lock on for the extra point, and he booms it home.
Extra point is good.
8:41 to play, third quarter. Vikings lead the Lions 21-13.
I'm sure Ian will be excited to get home and talk to his dad who played here. And Ian got to score a nice 60-yard run on his dad's home field.
You know what? That's a great point. We definitely talked about that before going on the camera, and I'm sure the family will enjoy that for sure. A great play to get the Lions back in it here, and another big series here for the defense.
Yes, we're going to have to get real serious on defense and make sure they keep shutting down number 5. He just owned that second quarter and showed a lot of weaknesses or the need for adjustments. And they made some that first possession. Walled Lake was forced to punt for the first time, and we'll see now with this, we got some momentum going.
That's right. 81, Brendan Locke to kick things off for the Lions. Great kick, fielded by, who else? Number 5, Michael Woolworth. Tackled about the 27-yard line. Tough to tell really all night on who's been getting in on our tackles. We apologize for that. We do try and do our best on that.
Brent Bender.
Bender in on that stop. Vikings will start 1st and 10. Their own 27-yard line. 8:36 to play third quarter. We got an 8-point game. Lions trailing 21-13. Give to the back. This is across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Number 43, Tanner Bryan, the ball carrier.
That was number 24, Will Kelly, in on the tackle. And then you got Michael Dancer. You know, that kid, I watched him play lacrosse last year. I'm watching him playing football now. He's not real big in stature, but, man, does he hit hard.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just wired for it, Paul. You know, ain't the size of the dog in the fight. And I'll tell you what, he's a heck of an athlete, speed and acceleration, shiftiness-wise, too, carrying the football. That's Jack Schaefer on the stop. Number 7, Cam Humphrey on the carry. He had the first touchdown for the Vikings way back in the first quarter.
Schaefer. Run was good for a first down.
Yeah, Dancer came up from his safety position there and just couldn't put the lick on him. But it slowed him down, kept him from getting around the corner too far.
$7:20 and counting to play in this third quarter.
Bryan, the ball carrier.
Just a punishing run there up the gut. 43, Tanner Bryan.
Jack Schaefer coming off the field, limping a little bit. You hate to see that, boy. He's having a heck of a night out there on defense.
Yeah, you can
pursuing that ball.
You can always count on 28's helmet to be to the ball for sure. Second down and 7. And this is what the Vikings do if you're just joining in. They're in no rush. They're going to run the ball. And they just want you to daring you to stop them. Not much doing there.
So here's another adjustment they just made, Dan. They put Big Trevor out on defensive end instead of in the middle. He's normally playing nose tackle. They put him out on the end. He made that tackle.
Great play by 73.
Yep, and you could see the surge was going backwards
Yes.
in our favor. So D-line won that one.
Penalty was a 5-yard face mask against South Lyon.
Oh, well, silver lining. It's not the 15-yarder, but second and short, not ideal from what we've seen from this Viking offense today.
Second down and 2.
Approaching the 6-minute mark of this third quarter. Give to Humphrey. Ooh, he was reaching that ball out there. Really no need for that on a second and short.
No, and when you're at midfield, that's only good at the goal line where you get it across and you can't fumble in the end zone. Here, players are swatting at that thing.
So the Vikings will pick up a first down just short of midfield.
team seems to be playing with a lot more confidence out there now that they've been able to slow down Mr. Woolridge.
Well, you get the stop, you go down the field and score. I mean, that lights a fire under you, as we were talking about earlier. And, you're right. You get the stop. That does give you some confidence because, obviously, we were having a hard time getting off the field in the first half. Give on the jet sweep. And it looks like 22.
Jake Perry, the ball carrier.
Jake Perry.
Tackled by Comaris.
Mitch Comaris on the stop. I only know that because I've murdered that name on the PA too, and I knew what he meant from just hearing it. Poor Mitch. Second down and 7. Be ideal to keep him in at this distance. Excuse me. Third and long. If we can,
I don't know who's shifting more, the offense or defense.
Right. Woolridge going to keep it. The Lions are there. Big win for the boys up front.
Yeah, there is a lot of shifting going on out there, Brian. Looks like what they're doing is they either got Trevor in there or they got, I think it's Josh Repos in there. They're putting him on the strong side where they think the ball is going to go, and then they got Will Kelly coming back on the weak side on the end.
Right.
So they're waiting to see how they line up, and then a lot of running around.
They've kind of figured out this offense a little bit that they're trying to defend and doing exactly that. They're matching up the defense with it and shutting them down.
Boys looking to get the crowd going here on a 3rd and long. 3rd down and 6 as we hit the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Give to Humphreys. Looking on the jet sweep. He takes a shot short of the 45-yard line. Will bring up a 4th down and 4 or 5.
4th down and 4.
Well, this is a different defense than we saw in the second quarter.
I think you have to play the field position game here. It looks like they are sending out the punt team, but that doesn't mean anything when you got Woolridge punting.
Exactly. I was going to say, he's out there as the quarterback or the punter.
Right. Interesting to see how this plays out here. They need to get to the 41 to have it for sure. If they,
You got to watch for the fake here, too.
yeah. Let it go. And it goes into the end zone, so the Lions will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. 2:58 to play, 3rd quarter. Lions trail the Vikings 21-13.
And Mr. Bender almost got that one.
And I'll tell you what, we got lucky that
Mr.
Woolridge didn't try and go with the Golden Globe or Academy Award back there, and he just dealt with it.
Right.
Because he may have been able to draw a call with any sort of spinorama or fall or whatever. So Haddock split to the near side. Going's in motion. He's going to take the handoff. He'll have a nice gain to about the 25.
Nice block by Ryan Gill out there on the end. Give that hole for Ian to cut it up.
You know, Ryan's been doing a good job of just kind of being all over the place. Just a tough, gritty football player.
2nd down and 5.
Under 2.5 to go now, 3rd quarter. Goings on the lateral. He should have enough for the 1st down there across the 30.
That's where he need to get to because it was 1st and 10 on the 20 after the punt and should be a 1st down.
Moving the chains.
Gotta be a little careful on those swing passes, boys.
I agree.
Those are really close to being laterals.
Yes.
If they hit the ground, you better get on it.
Looked like Will Kelly
Kelly, the ball carrier.
able to pick up 5.
That was Will just kind of picking up from last week, that hard-nosed downhill running.
Kent Brad on the stop.
Let's give the line some credit for opening up that hole for him.
Yeah, Trevor Weiss was right out there with him.
Closer to a gain of 6, it looks like. They go back to Kelly, and he is gobbled up before the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark it.
Lost 2 on the play. Third down and 6.
Jason is down there with the athletic director, Mike Teagan, saying hello to the broadcast team up here. Big third down play here for the offense.
Did you get your pay raise from him?
Right? Patiently waiting, intended for Locke.
Pass incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and 6.
Brings up a punting situation now for the Lions at their own 34-yard line. 19 seconds left to play in this third quarter.
Like Locke got hit before the ball got there from behind. I don't know if they thought the defensive guy was going for the ball or what, but you can't go through the guy.
So it's Kelly and Locke.
A little bit of confusion here on the Lions, getting lined up. Oh no, Jesus.
Gets away a Butte. Camoras downs it at the 32-yard line, and that's where Central will start with 10 seconds left in this third quarter. They lead the Lions 21-13.
Looked like Will had half a thought of running that again, but he chose to give it a ride.
Give up the middle. That should do it for the third quarter. Yeah.
Brian, the ball carrier.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Vikings lead the Lions 21-13. We'll be back with the fourth quarter and what could be a great finish at Walled Lake Central High School in a moment. Just underway here in the fourth, and it's a gashing run up the middle. The ball's loose. Ian Goings has it on the recovery, and he's across the 45. A huge play defensively by the Lions, and they're going to have some great field position.
Looked like Joey Brincat, the runner, got through and looked like a horrible play for us and turned into a great play. It ball bounced our way for the first time.
We'll take it. In a huge way to start this fourth quarter. In the back of my head, Brian, I was thinking back to that second quarter. We scored 3 seconds in, and then we didn't get the ball back until,
3 minutes.
Yeah. And in my head, I was like, well, how many more possessions are we going to get? And a big turnover by the Lion defense. And Fracassi and crew will start inside Viking territory. Will Kelly looks like he got to about the 41 here.
Mike Miller on the stop for Walled Lake Central. Second down and 6.
Fires out to Locke. He's got a little room out there on the far side. Going to be awfully close to a first down depending on the spot.
Well, that was a nice play, too. Locke got himself open and got about 4 yards after the catch and makes us real close here.
I think the Lions should at least ask for a measurement if they're not going to give it to him. Yes, it is.
Pass was good for a first down for South Lyon.
1st and 10 Lions now inside the 35 to the 34. 11 minutes exactly as they move the chains left in this fourth quarter. Walled Lake Central leads South Lyon 21 to 13. That's Will Kelly. Will Kelly's got some room on the far sideline, and he is in for the Lion touchdown. He had plenty of room over there.
Oh, he sure did. That was a great play. Connor Fracassi held the ball as long as he needed to and then got it out to Kelly, and he took off.
Boy, did he ever, Brian. It was like he was slingshotted out there.
Will smells that end zone. There's not much that's going to stop him.
No, and I'm telling you, I think he's just got a secret second gear there when he's got that green turf in front of him like that. 10:33 to play, fourth quarter. Lions trail by 2. They will go for 2 to attempt to tie this thing up.
Well, that was James Haddock on the outside, too. He was split wide. He made a nice block to give him that hole.
Gives to Locke, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. And we're tied up at 21.
We got a ball game here, Danny.
Great effort from the Lions here in the second half to come from 2 scores down. We're knotted up at 21 with 10:33 to play. Buckle up, folks. We're in for a finish here tonight. Brendan Locke boots it down, fielded at the 10.
There you go, Ryan.
And the Lions have some great kick coverage, and they stop.
He's doing it all tonight out there on special teams. He's on defense and offense, blocking,
There you go, Ryan.
doing whatever they need him to do.
First and 10 for the Vikings at their own 21-yard line.
Job, Gil.
We got Coach Van Dyke up here helping us tonight, and he was just talking about before that kickoff how important it is to not give them a good return, right? You go down, you score on them, now you got them pinned in their own zone, you're playing good defense. You got to keep that momentum up.
Absolutely. Just a big old pile moving there.
It was. It looked like a rugby pile.
Yeah, he fakes it to that first back through, and he just gets right on his tail and is running right behind him.
Second down and 6.
That'll get the clock going as we approach 10 minutes now left in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 6 after that gain.
We all just saw that play. It was like, you're not going any further than that. Get back here.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That's Ben Buckler out there showing off what he's learned in the weight room.
That's right. And it's 3rd and short, but that's what the Lions need to do. Keep putting them in third down situations. Try and get this time crunching offense off the field.
Watch that tight end releasing here, Dan.
Okay. Outside give to Humphreys. The Lions get him. A big tackle for loss.
That's number 11, Will Matson, coming in there making that tackle.
And
way to step up, young man, when you get your chance.
Yes, it was. And he's fired up about it, and he should be.
oh yeah, that was a great play. You love seeing those kids that come in. You know, they know that he's maybe a second stringer in there, and they're going to attack him, and he takes them down. I love it.
Punished him for it. Brings up a certain punt situation, but like we were saying earlier, it is the quarterback who punts for the Vikings. Not much on that. The Lions are going to get... Oh, yeah. It's a shankopotamus.
I hadn't heard that one yet this year. I was waiting for it.
The Lions will start near midfield. 8:03 to play in the fourth.
Once again, the winning.
We are tied at 21.
0, 4, 7, 8, 9, 4, 3.
Lions at their own 47. Fracassi gives to Will Kelly. Kelly across midfield. He's running hard again down there.
He is, and they're making a little bit of a hole for him. Those linebackers are tough for Walled Lake.
Yeah, they're ripping at the ball, Brian. You got to hang on to that.
Yeah, that was the old Jim Brown get up there. You know, he always got up slow, so you never knew if he was banged up. Old Will Kelly. Not a bad idea. Under 7.5 to go now, fourth quarter. Second down, 5 to go. Haddock split to the near side. Lock in motion. They're going to give it to Kelly again up the middle. And it's going to be third and short.
Third down and 1.
Well, we talked about it last week, guys, after the game, about some leadership on this team and the seniors stepping up. And I think we saw it last week, and we're seeing it this week. You know, Will's leaving it out there on the field, and so is Trevor and the other seniors.
Ryan Gill, another senior.
Leading by example. It would have been real easy to just kind of mail this thing in after that first half, especially the way the second quarter ended. But now it's a prideful program. The coach has made some adjustments, and here we are now with 6.5 to go. Third down and short. And the Lions are going to get him to jump, and that's going to be a first down inside the 40 with 6:24 to play in the fourth, tied at 21.
You know, that's what this game is about, and this is where the coaches come in as a part of the team, is to make those adjustments. The team that adjusts better is the one that's going to have the better chance in the second half.
Well, and who can execute in crunch time, too? I mean, third and short like that, obviously you're screaming, watch the ball.
I think we're starting to see, you know, some of the experience these kids have gained this year.
Yep. Approaching the 6-minute mark. First and 10 South Lyon at the Viking 39. Screen pass to Kelly. Kelly fights his way for 3. He earned every one of them.
Woolridge on the stop. Second down and 6.
Got to give it to Will for keeping focus on that ball, right? Because you know when the ball's in the air that long, that safety's coming up on you. You're going to get hit pretty quick. But he kept his focus. He didn't look upfield until he definitely secured the ball.
I'll give it to, Kelly's done that. Even Gill was doing that earlier. They make it look so easy. It is not easy. Running into hostile territory and keeping your eye on the ball is a skill that is developed. Fracassi on the keeper. I love it. We haven't seen it much tonight. He's going to be across the 30 and awfully close to another first down.
Tackle by number.
He is a tough runner. He's proven that all year long. And last week they didn't have to run him at all.
Right.
And also he got kind of a rest in that game. But
well deserved.
Yeah, but that was a well played there. You know, the play calling tonight has been really well.
Well, and here's the thing, and I'll bring it up on that play that Will Kelly scored on. You do all the scouting all week, you run the plays, blah, blah, blah. You get in the game and you don't see it, then they break it out on you late. It's way more effective, and we've seen that with, obviously, the quarterback draw and that toss pitch option kind of hybrid to Kelly for the touchdown. Fracassi back to pass. He fires. Intended for Locke. There was some contact, and I got to assume that they're just assuming that was uncatchable because there was definitely some contact.
There was, yes. The fans here are not liking the non-call.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of contact out there with the ball in the air.
Well, and that final play right before the half is also sticking in the fans' craw over here, where they felt that there should have been a little time left on the clock. It looked very similar to that, and so the rabble started early on that one.
It did.
4th and 1. Kelly able to grind his way across for a first down.
Well, and the Walled Lake linebacker's holding his hands up like, what? Well, you did the old hit him with your helmet instead of wrapping him up. And Will Kelly tumbled over him for the yardage.
0, 4, 7, 8, 9.
Good push by the line there.
Yes, it was.
You know, Brian, you mentioned the leadership of Ryan Gill tonight. Ryan's doing great. You know, they put him right behind the line, and then he's making that hole, right? He's getting to the second level, putting a block on the linebacker.
'81. Locke on the jet sweep. He'll be met with resistance early.
Woolridge on the stop along with number 50.
Woolridge on the tackle. I don't know that he got maybe a yard there, as we are at the 4-minute mark left in this fourth quarter. I'm just going to bounce this. Do we recall anyone taking a timeout yet this half? I don't. I
have not seen one.
I usually try and write it down, but I don't recall one. So both teams with their full slate of timeouts as we start to enter under 3.5 minutes here. Fracassi pump fakes, and he may run with it. And a flag. It's Locke. He's going to be down inside the 5, but this one's going to be coming back for what I can only assume is a holding call.
Goal for South Lyon. Penalty flag against South Lyon. Holding, 10-yard penalty from the spot.
Well, the holding call, 10 yards from the spot, backs him up quite a bit. It'll be second down in 20 plus, maybe 25.
After the penalty, second down and 26.
I don't know that we were that deep where it was taking the ball that far back. Holding had to be up on the 30.
Yeah, I felt like Fracassi was closer to the original line of scrimmage. Great catch by Gill. He takes an immediate shot from number 13, Brendan Jazzco. But I like the play call. Let's get a little bit of it back here and see what we can do.
0478943.
Well, you're in 4-down territory here, Dan, right? So.
Third 26.
We're going to get his whistle here. Timeout on the field, South Lyon. I believe that's their first. 2:44 left to play in this fourth quarter. We're tied at 21 at Walled Lake Central High School. Third down and long for the Lions. They need to get inside the 20 to about the 17 for a first. Fracassi under pressure, buying time. Still under assault. Able to find Will Kelly. On a last second of just dump off. And he's able to dive close to the 25. Let's see where the market. That will make it awfully close. to field goal range for Brendan Locke.
Yeah, and Will thought he was near the first down marker, but it's actually the original line of scrimmage.
Right.
So, but great heads-up play by both Fracassi and Will Kelly.
So from here, we're going to go 26. You add 17. We're looking at a 43-yarder from the near hash. 2.5 to go here in the fourth, and this is big time here.
Oh, this is huge.
Hold your blocks! Watch the outside!
81, Brendan Locke on for the kick. Will Kelly to hold. Exactly 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play in this fourth quarter. We're tied at 21 here at Walled Lake Central High School. Here we go. We're going to get a timeout on the field. Walled Lake Central, I believe. They're first. They want to talk it over and have Brendan Locke think about it for a minute.
And they got Woolridge back under the goalpost, but potentially return this. So we got to watch for that if it should come up short.
After the timeout, the Lions opt to go for it. 5 wide for Cassi out of the gun. They need to get to the Walled Lake Central 17 for a first down. Timeout Lions. Their second wise decision, though. If you don't know what's going on, burn the timeout.
Well, I think they were looking to see what defense was going to be out there.
Yeah, you're right, Brian. They may have told them.
Very well been planned to see what they line up as.
And now the block goes back onto the field. For those of you that don't know, that is a tool to help get underneath the ball at the high school level.
Yes.
Sometimes we start dropping football terms on here, and not everyone knows what it is. Hey, and you know what? Some teams call them different things. I've discovered over the years.
Hey, gotta love it, Dan. This is high school football, right? This is exciting.
No.
The boys on the sidelines, they got their arms locked, cheering on their team. This is what it's all about.
So it'll be a 43-yard attempt from the near hash. Again, Brendan Locke to kick, Will Kelly to hold. 2.5 to play in the fourth. We're tied at 21. Locke had to stop and tried to muscle it through, and he had the distance, just pulled it a little left. And I credit Locke for stopping and giving Will Kelly a chance to get it up for him.
Yep. Yeah. They had to have everything perfect on that, and the snap just wasn't there, but Kelly did a good job of fielding it, getting it up there, and the timing was off. Locke has the leg from what I hear.
He did. Even on the one-stepper there, it went through the end zone. I don't know if it had the height. 2:24 to play now in the fourth. We're tied at 21. I believe Walled Lake Central has 2 timeouts. South Lyon has 1 timeout. Woolridge on the keeper. Flag behind the play.
Yep. I think that was either a hold or a clip on Will Kelly there from somebody from Walled Lake.
Definitely coming back. 2:15. Clock will stop with the penalty. Left here in the fourth.
Holding against Walled Lake Central.
It is a hold.
10-yard penalty from Scott Foul. First down.
Yeah.
First down at 16.
Clock will start to run now. 2:10 and counting left in this fourth. Central looking at a first down and 16 after the walk-off. Pile in the middle there. Everyone's just
Woolridge, the ball carrier.
trying to rip the ball out.
Oh, they are.
1:37. Clock continues to run. Will be second down and 10 near the original line of scrimmage.
Walled Lake taking their time with just coming up on almost a minute left to play, minute 20.
Keep your eye on number 7, guys, Cam Humphrey. They move him around quite a bit, and he's a quick,
he's in the
he's a run
flanker
player.
spot here. Motion to his side. Approaching 1 minute left in regulation. They give it to the fullback. And now do the Lions burn a timeout here?
Well,
There is a timeout on the field.
and I think
Brian, the ball carrier. Bring them 3rd down and 10.
I didn't see who called timeout.
Well, there's an injured Viking down. So
Off? No, they had to have a timeout.
Okay.
Someone's getting.
here we go. 53.8 seconds to go. 3rd down and 10 for the Vikings. Deep in their own end and a false start.
False start back there.
That's going to back them up 5.
Watch the end! Watch the end!
I love all the other coaches up in the stands here.
I'd say we got a couple hundred of them.
Yeah.
3rd down and 15 after the penalty. 53 seconds left to go in the 4th. Tied at 21. Woolridge just going to keep it. Nowhere to go. And they're saying he was down.
Ball carrier down the play. It's going to bring up 4th down and 15.
Boy, that almost looked like a broken play there. It was kind of sloppy.
No. The Lions are out of timeouts.
Play clock's going to have this. Well,
So now it starts
now
now.
they started, yeah. The rest took forever.
Let it run it out.
Play clock.
Yeah.
Now they can let it run out.
I mean, do they take the delay? They call timeout.
They're going to
with
go
a second.
into overtime.
Yeah.
So they have to do something. So they get a penalty.
They didn't start the game.
Timeout with 1.4. This guy on the clock all day. All day with this guy. 1.4 on the clock. They won't really they just run a play and fall on it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
As we learned with the Michigan State game a few years ago.
Exactly.
You don't punt it here. So it looks like we're heading to overtime, barring some sort of insanity, with 1.4 seconds left here in the 4th. We're knotted up at 21. The Lions have rallied from 15 down at the half. And I'm just going to go off of memory for the high school overtime. It's been a while. Believe the team start at the 10, and it's a 1st and goal situation.
I believe you're correct.
If a team scores, obviously the other team gets a rebuttal. And if it's basically it's sudden death, if it's a field goal and they score a touchdown, it's over. It's a field goal, we keep going. Touchdown, both hit the extra point, we keep going. So should be interesting. Gosh, I can't remember the last time we had one go to an extra frame.
And I think after the 4th, they have to go for
For two. Okay.
Right, I thought they were going to chase him into the end zone for a safety.
Well, this should be interesting, folks. Stick around. We'll be back with overtime in a moment. First play for the Lions here in overtime for Cassie to Will Kelly. Will Kelly picked up a couple. That was a high tackle there.
It sure was.
Back on the play by number 3, Joey Brinkett.
That was that little pitch play that Will had that good run on to score a touchdown earlier.
And whoever blew that assignment made sure not to do that again. Looks like they picked up a couple. Be 2nd and goal from the 8. Give to Kelly in the middle. He's running hard. Meets some resistance around the 3. Still was able to fall forward, it looked like.
Big push again by the offensive line.
Fracassi out of the pistol. Will Kelly, his deep back. Gill in motion. High snap, reeled in. Will Kelly's going to be close. Did he get in? No signal yet. They're saying he was down on the far official. Oh my gosh. I just don't even know what to say about that. He looked, and granted we're on an angle here. I thought he had reached across there from our angle.
Dan, I think this is an artifact of the Lions game from last Sunday because Will fell into the end zone, and I don't know if maybe the ref thinks that his knee was down before he fell forward, but we'll have to watch that one on replay.
Yes, we will.
Well, all the Lions thought he was in, and the Walled Lake players looked pretty dejected.
Yes. 4th and goal from inside the 1 for Cassie and the Lions. First possession of overtime. Will Kelly, and he's in for the Lion touchdown. I'll tell you what, this broadcaster took a big sigh of relief after that.
Well, I was waiting for the arms to go up, but both defensive and offensive players were all in the end zone, so it had to be a touchdown.
Yeah. That'll put the Lions up 27-21 with the PAT to follow.
Big point after here, huh, Dan?
It is. Brendan Locke, Will Kelly to hold. Kick is up, and it is good. The Lions have taken a 7-point lead in overtime, and the ball now goes to Walled Lake Central, and they must answer or go for 2 to keep this thing alive.
Yes, and you know we're going to see a lot of Woolridge and number 7.
Yeah, Humphreys.
Yeah. And Tanner Bryan up the middle. I mean, they got all kinds of options, so we got to play just a solid nose, heads-up defense.
Absolutely. The defense has played fantastic in the second half after some adjustments at the break. But, you know, we've seen what this Central offense has been able to do on the ground game, and they only need 10 yards.
You got Humphrey split down wide here.
1st and goal from the 10. Woolridge. And really, that's been the story of the second half. A rugby scrum for 2 or 3, right?
Exactly, yeah. And the Lions are standing tall out there.
Actually got
that was a 7-yard play, and now it's a 2-yard.
Yeah, they got a pretty good favorable spot on that. They actually got it marked down to about the 6-yard line based on the dial-a-down here on the near sideline. 2nd down and goal. That's Humphrey. Humphrey's got a lane and he's in. So let's see what they do here.
seem to have a real strong kicking game, so it'll be interesting.
I agree. I did see a young man warming up that maybe wasn't here at the start of the game, at the end of halftime, number 19, that was kicking extra points.
Go for two and just try to win.
Right. We're going to get a timeout on the field, Walled Lake Central, and we'll take a quick break too. Back with what will either be an extra point attempt to tie it or a 2-point conversion attempt to win it here at Walled Lake Central High School. Well, here we go, folks, out of the timeout. Walled Lake Central will decide to go for two and win it here in the first overtime. Lions lead it 28-27. This will be the final play of the game. Woolridge under center. Takes the snap, play action, goes to bootleg, and the Lions are there, but they lose him. It's Woolridge out of the far corner. He's got a block, and he's in for the win. Incredible. No flag. And Walled Lake Central comes back in overtime to stun the Lions.
Well, the Lions had them hemmed in, and you can just see the Lions are just totally dejected there. When they thought they had Woolridge in the backfield, he got away from them, and the whole other side was open out there.
Well, stick around, folks. We're going to have a quick post-game show. We'll have lots to talk about as the Lions drop a heartbreaker here tonight at Walled Lake Central High School. Your final score, the Vikings of Walled Lake Central 29, your South Lyon Lions 28. We'll be back in a moment. Well, folks, welcome to the post-game show here at Walled Lake Central High School. Paul, I'll start with you. You had the best look at it there, and I mean, what can you say about it? Just a heartbreaking and dejecting loss for the Lions here tonight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that last play, you think you got the game in your hands, and then all of a sudden it slips away. But, hey, we've been talking about it all year. We talk about maturity. We talk about getting better every week. You can't tell me that these guys are not getting better every week. I mean, that was a damn good Walled Lake team out there, and we came out there and we gave them everything that they can handle. Yep. And being dejected going into the halftime down 21-6, coming out, holding them scoreless the entire second half. Those are adjustments. So the boys played great on the field, but a little kudos to the coaches, too, for making those adjustments at halftime.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm really glad you brought that up about getting better. That did cross my mind in the fourth quarter. I didn't say it on camera, but you could just see, I mean, even throughout this game, and we've been saying that all year, you could just see them improving during the game. They shut them down in the second half, and obviously just unfortunately came up just a little bit short tonight.
Yep.
Well, Brian, I mean, I know, buddy. I know I was in the middle here. We thought he had him.
Oh yeah, poor Will Kelly. Had a heck of a game there tonight, and he had him by the ankle there at the end. His other buddies were coming in, and Woolridge just showed the athlete that he is.
Right.
He escaped from there and made it. Yeah. So you got to give your hat off to that young man for not giving up, and you got to give it to Will Kelly too for being there.
Yeah,
that was the exciting part of it. If you had just run through everybody,
right? But
we had a chance, and these young kids are gonna just take this and feed on it.
Yep, I hope so. And with that being said, we'll look to our player of the game tonight. Ryan Gill, number 4, just the ultimate utility player. I mean, you can't say enough about this guy. You can plug him in anywhere.
Oh, yeah. You saw him blocking for Will out there. You saw him making catches for a first down. You saw him making a big hit on kickoffs. They had that kick we scored. We kicked off. They got him inside the 20. And Ryan Gill was there just, leading by example.
Yep. And then our tough guy, I love this pick. They made some adjustments at the half. They were moving number 67, Josh Repos, around, and he really made his presence felt there in the second half, just clogging up the outside. And like we said, we weren't joking. The play became a rugby scrum for 2 or 4 yards the whole second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Josh got out there. I think coaches gave him a good talking to at halftime in terms of, hey, this is what you got to do to make sure number 5 doesn't end up getting outside inside and beating us early, and they did a good job of really shutting them down.
Yeah, and kudos to the big man Trevor Weiss too. He was a part of those adjustments as well. But so that'll wrap things up for tonight. We thank you very much for joining us. We are at home next week, I believe, against one of the Waterford schools.
Waterford Moss coming in to celebrate homecoming with us.
All right. Well, we hope to see you all out there, and for homecoming, it'll be hopefully a great night for football. For Paul Zarati, Brian McPhee, and Matt Boyer on camera, I'm Dan Pelchat. Remember, folks, it's a great day to be living in America, and we'll see you next time.